Back at it again. It's the Football Playbook with your boy RIC and the place to be. Ric Serritella, telling it like it is when it comes to your undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. Gearing you up for this Monday affair in prime time, November 14th. It's a double chin strap affair. Buckle up. Hey, thank you so much for growing the show. And I see it starting to trickle into the familia and some of the people that I've grown up with, some of the longtime listeners of the State of Football. Some of you guys have just stumbled across it today. But I got to say, it makes me feel so good when I see guys like Justin Serrato chiming in the chat room. A huge, probably the biggest Philadelphia Eagles fan that I know personally. And, man, Justin, man, Serrato, I got you, bro. Welcome to the show, man. This is what we do each and every day. Our 52nd episode, so hit the like button while you're here. Last week, Andre Spence styled it up. Richard Rosania, I see you, Paisan from East Hanover. All my chat room people, Paul Mancini, another one that's making the man of God. Adams Exploits, buckle up. It's a double chin strap affair over here. And, I don't think that I had a chance, just on some housekeeping notes here. Last week, Fred Hickman, rest in peace, man. He passed away last week. Fred was a longtime media personality. He was a staple back when CNN had sports coverage. That's where a lot of people know Fred from. I think he had a lot of time down in Atlanta, but I had a chance to work with Fred for about 2 years at the Yes Network when I was just cutting my teeth and breaking into the business as a young whippersnapper in my early 20s. Fred Hickman was a guy that, really I learned a lot from, just from the way he conducted himself on a daily basis. And I said on Twitter, he's the last, they don't make people like that in the industry, because he was just first class all the way, very humble, very willing to answer any of your questions. And I said it on Twitter, there's fewer and fewer people like this in today's media industry. So I wanted to give a shout out to Fred Hickman, rest in peace. Also, developing story on the campus of UVA, Virginia. We all know what happened a couple years ago down there. Developing story, 3 people killed, 2 others wounded. The University of Virginia on lockdown this morning, canceling all classes while police search for the suspect, former Virginia football player Christopher Darnell Jones, who was listed as a freshman on the team in 2018. Eventually, I guess, left the team, and he has now come back to the campus to shoot folks up. License plate TWX 3580. He may be driving an SUV. So if you're down there in the University of Virginia area, be on the lookout. That's a developing story. And thoughts and prayers go out to all the victims there. All right. Buckle up. It's a double chin strap affair. Monday, November 14th here. I'm going to get into my 5 keys to victory. Before I do, I mentioned that, high emotions for Ron Rivera. Just lost his mom, on top of the Daniel Snyder BS, on top of the Brian Robinson shooting, on top of a quarterback dumpster fire. Ron Rivera has kept his head above the water, and that deserves some kind of respect. Now, he's got a new quarterback in Tyler Heineke. This man rallies the troops. Turnover prone, but he rallies the troops. And Brian Robinson has returned to kind of be that feature back. So a little bit more of a 1-2, maybe 3 punch, because Curtis Samuel, when you look at yards per carry, Curtis Samuel, he's got 100, 200 yards rushing. He's been their most effective runner. So you could see Samuel back there moonlighting. You could see Gibson. You could see Brian Robinson. You could see a different kind of dynamic when you face the Commanders. And Adams exploits. We went 8-4 on Sunday. We're 89-58 in the season. I'll get to that in the second hour of Power. We're talking Eagles right now. I'll get to the OBJ rumors as well. I know the Cowgirls was a debacle. We'll get to it all. I got you coming, guys. But for the 5 keys to victory, and I'm curious to hear, Tone, keep an ear peeled. I didn't hear any of the previous shows. I've been in and out all morning. I haven't heard Marvin Wilson's status because he got activated last week, played about 20 reps, and I thought he did pretty well. I think he had like 4 tackles. So I expect Marvin Wilson to be activated once again from the practice squad and be elevated and active for tonight's affair. Haven't heard an official word, but I would assume that'll be the case. If you're just tuning in, Avonte Maddox out, Josh Jobe still on the mend, Josiah Scott next man up in the slot. Could we see more Zach McPherson tonight? Possibly. Well, let's get into my 5 keys to victory. How about that? We got the undefeated Eagles, 8-0, hosting the Washington Commanders, 4-5. Washington, believe it or not, 43-42 all time at Philly. So this is no gimme. Yeah, we're going to get to the Vikings and Bills. Guys, trust me, I got notes on notes on notes. Let me get through my 5 keys to victory. I know it was a big football weekend. I got college football notes. I got NFL draft notes. I got the draft order update. I got the AP poll. I got the Heisman Trophy race. There's a lot of good football to get to. But I started breaking down the Commanders. I said, here's my 5 keys to an Eagles victory, which I got to say, this is not going to be an 11-point affair. I got the official prediction coming up at the end of the show. Try to pop Tone to Shields on too and get his prediction as well later on. But here's my 5 keys. If they want to win this ball game, for me, number 1, get up early. Just like the Eagles have been doing all season long. I believe they've been ahead in every single ball game out of the gates. Now, they did fall behind against the Lions, right? Other than that, there hasn't been much adversity. And so, to me, momentum is big in this game because we saw it was like a home game for the Eagles down in D.C. And Carson Wentz was booed when he came on the field. The Commanders were booed when they went off the field at halftime. If they didn't know any better, they thought they were in Philly. Well, kick it up a notch tonight. Put the Commanders in a hole early on. I know Coach Sirianni likes to defer, but this is just me. And hey, Jeff Saturday was plucked off the streets last week to be a head coach, so I'm available, guys. Mark Davis, you need a head coach. I'm here. You never know. Ric Serritella could be on the sidelines next week. But if it's me, I'm deferring. I'm sorry. I'm receiving if I win the coin toss because I want to put the Commanders in a hole early. I want them to feel the hostile environment, and I want the Boo Birds into it right from the gate. I want the Commanders to feel like they don't have a shot. And if they get in a hole early on, 30-degree weather, they ain't going to want that kind of party. Beat them down mentally. Don't worry, Showtime. I ain't going anywhere soon. Beat the Commanders down mentally. Put them in a hole. If you win the coin toss, receive the ball because you will go straight down the field. You'll go up early. You'll get that home field behind you. And Washington will be counting down until they board back that bus to head back down to D.C. Believe you me. So for me, it's get up early. Deflate their mental state early. Stop the run. That goes without being said. And you could say that's the number one key. Listen, this team has struggled, and I have securing tackles, cleaning up the tackling. They kind of go hand in hand, but they got to stop the run. They got to shore up the tackling issues. Marvin Wilson could be a key to that. They've got to wrap up tacklers, though. And cleaning up the run game, Dameon Pierce looking like Earl Campbell, you can't have that tonight. You've got to stop the run, and if you're going to lose a game, let it be with Taylor Heinicke beating you. If you're going to lose to the Commanders, do it against the pass. Let Heinicke beat you. Because I guarantee you he's going to throw at least one interception tonight, maybe 2 or 3. Heinicke's good for 1. I guarantee it. So stop the run. Let Heinicke beat you. And that, to me, will create turnovers because the more Heinicke stands back in the pocket, the more likely a guy like James Bradbury or Chauncey Gardner-Johnson or Darius Slay is going to make a big, big interception and maybe a pick six. I could see a pick six tonight. By the way, speaking of Heinicke, he'll have his hands full under pressure. You know, I want to make a point real quick here, and that's my second key to victory. But a quick side note. I saw some comments last week from Robert Quinn that said, you know, he was a little upset that he might have to play 18 games this year. Bro, first of all, nobody cares. Buckle up. Second of all, we just rescued you from a dumpster fire that's called the Chicago Bears. Yo, be thankful. Thanksgiving's right around the corner. Third of all, bro, you've played 26 snaps in the last 2 games. So before you cry about not having a bye week, before you say how upset you are, you're not happy about playing 18 games this season, yo, you just had your bye. You played 26 reps combined in the last 2 games, and now you're crying about you might have to play 18 games? Yo, good thing I did some cleaning up around the house this weekend. I got an extra pair of big boy pants for you, Robert Quinn. Kidding me, bro? You kidding me, bro? Pfft, you better man up. Tone makes a good point, getting back to my second key to victory against the run. Yeah, the Eagles, even without Jordan Davis, Javon Hargrave, Fletcher Cox, they should feast tonight because I think the Commanders are down to their 4th string center, Tone. Golly. Woo. So Fletcher Cox, I could see him and Javon Hargrave applying that pressure up the middle. And then Robert Quinn, if he doesn't have his panties in a bunch, maybe him or Josh Sweat or Brandon Graham, you know, could run some stunts tonight, come out on the edge. I don't want to hear about, you know, you're upset playing 18 games because you don't have a bye. Bro, you played 26 reps the last 2 games. That's your bye. Stop it, Robert Quinn. No wonder why we voided those last 2 years of your contract. You're a rental, bro. You ain't cut for Philly. You feel me? Louis D says 26 reps at defensive end is like 4 or 5 car wrecks. Bro, I think TJ Watt played more than that yesterday coming off an injury. People have families. He's an older player. Bro, you play in the NFL. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. All right. So, one, get up early, put the Commanders in a hole, get the home crowd behind you, make Washington want to go home early in that 30-degree weather. Yeah, TJ Watt was out half the year, and he still played more. Big D, John Dickerson, I see you. I see what you did there. What I'm saying is, like, yo, Quinn just needs to man up. I don't care if you got family, if you're an older player, you don't have a bye week. 26 reps in 2 games, and you want me to feel sorry for you? Bro, we just rescued your season. You have a chance to win a chip, and you're crying about, oh, I need a bye week. Man, I thought this was a good trade. Jacob Richmond says my take on Quinn is trash. Nah, bro. I want men in the locker room, not boys. Kidding me? If the company I worked for didn't give me a paid vacation, I'd be pissed too. There are no vacations in football. What the fuck are you talking about? There's no vacations in football unless you're Tom Brady. Oh, Maron Mamia. You guys actually feel bad for Robert Quinn. Give me a break. Thank you for chiming in, by the way, Kaskos. Haven't seen you. Welcome to the show. Buckle up. JC sees me. Yo, bro. You are not going to endear yourself to the Philadelphia fan base complaining about time off. Anyway, back to my keys to victory. Number 3. Be ready for the pass rush. And I made this list thinking Chase Young was going to be back. I was looking forward, even if it wasn't a limited basis, Chase Young versus Jordan Mailata, because Mailata had his worst game of the season last week against the Texans. But more importantly, when I talk about the pass rush, this is a team that can bring it up the middle. Very few teams in the NFL can generate a consistent pass rush up the middle. The Commanders are as good as any team in the National Football League with those Bama boys. Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, they got about 5 sacks each on the interior. And really, like, you look at the Eagles with Cox and Hargrave, I think, Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne might be a better 1-2 combo on the interior. That says a lot about how good the middle of that defensive line can be. And why it's important is Jason Kelce, man. This guy's all banged up. I know the ankles are killing him. I know he's battling through some other injuries. He actually spoke about it, about how much pain he's playing through. Well, Kelce is going to be counted on to provide some help to his guards tonight. Dickerson, Sayamalu, they're going to need some help, and Jason Kelce is going to have to provide that. Going to need a lot of chips. Going to need a lot of help out against that interior pass rush. And look, there's going to be pressure coming up the middle. There's going to be pressure on the outside from Sweat. I could see Hurts on some play action rolling away from all this mess. I could see Hurts having himself a rushing touchdown or two on the play action. So for me, Jason Kelce is going to play a critical role because the Commanders have maybe the best 1-2 tandem of any 4-3 defense in the National Football League, man. That's some serious smoke up the middle. So 1, get up early, get the home crowd behind you. 2, stop the run, shore up the tackling. 3, Jason Kelce, big key, shoring up that pass rush up the middle. Number 4 is something I touched on in the first segment, the 3 amigos. For as good as Benjamin St-Juste has played, and for as good as Kendall Fuller is, there's just not the depth for the Commanders to cover everyone. So pick your poison. You want to cover A.J. Brown? Well, hey, Devontae Smith will get loose like we saw in week 3, 169 yards, career high against the Commanders several weeks back. If you double down on Smith, and A.J. Brown is going to shake loose, get freaky now. And oh, by the way, if you do decide to double team A.J. Brown, well, that's going to leave the Commanders vulnerable with Dallas Goedert because Cole Holcomb is out. David Mayo is out. They're going to need some safety help on Goedert. And if you bring down the safeties and help out on Goedert, well, then Quez Watkins can beat you deep. So I think the Eagles have some mismatches in the passing attack here that if I'm Jalen Hurts, I'm licking my chops. Dank Burrito, I hope we're joking about vacations here. Because I need one. It's been a few years. Robert Quinn doesn't get a bye week. Give me a break. All right, so the 3 amigos, to me, this is pick your poison. The Commanders cannot stop this. They just can't. So one of the 3 amigos is going to have a career day. I don't know which one yet. We'll come back tomorrow and talk about it. But to me, it's all about the 3 amigos. The Commanders just don't have an answer for that. Now, my last key to victory doesn't so much help them win, but it's a point I want to make because it's a very big concern of mine here in week 10. As I watch everything that's happening around the league, this might be the most important point that I have to make. It might be the most vital key to victory. You got to avoid these rugby scrums with Jalen Hurts. And I know it's effective, and I know it's a low risk situation for injury so far. But man, I look at what happened to Justin Herbert last night with the Greenlaw hit, and I'll get into that later in the show, I promise. I look at Josh Allen, who is the anti-Jalen Hurts, by the way. Josh Allen, I'm going to get into this after the commercial. Josh Allen has a very low football IQ. And I see himself I see Josh Allen leaving himself vulnerable to some very big collisions. Never mind the 26 reps that Robert Quinn is involved in. Josh Allen is taking more car crash collisions than Robert Quinn has just yesterday. And then I don't have to look no further than Tua. It's inevitable, guys. You can't play reckless. You can't play 17 hits a game on your quarterback and expect to get through the season healthy. So to me, the most important key to victory is preserving Jalen Hurts. Avoid those rugby scrums where you can. Because those helmet-to-helmet collisions, I hold my breath every time they run 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and it's Hurts sneak. I hold my breath. Because it just takes one hit to end the season. Got to be careful. Got to be careful. Steven Whitaker. Bro, I'm not bashing Robert Quinn. I'm just disagreeing with his stance. He came out and said he's not too happy about not having a bye week. That's what he said. I'm not too happy about it. Well, Robert, are you happy that we rescued you from Chicago? Hey, Robert, are you happy that you got a chance to win a chip? Hey, Robert, are you happy that you only played 26 reps the last 2 games combined? That's my point. All I'm saying is you're not endearing yourself to the working class citizens of the Philadelphia Eagle fan base. Louis D. Okay, yeah, he got asked the question and he answered it. Truthfully, I'm just saying, yo, I'm cut from a different cloth. And so are a lot of his Eagles teammates. That's all I recognize. He gets compensated pretty well for the job that he signed up for. Man. It's a league I barely recognize. You guys feel sorry for him. Okay. I'm speechless, quite frankly. It's the Football Playbook, episode 52. RIC in the place to be. Ric Serritella, telling it like it is when it comes to your undefeated Eagles, 8-0 here in the Week 10 stratosphere. It's all going down tonight at the Ocean Casino Resorts, your home for the Eagles pre- and post-game. Oh, boy, Tone DeShields will be down there. Will you guys? November 27th, it's the Football Playbook watch party at the Gallery. Buckle up. Make sure you get your Ocean Casino VIP rewards card. You get a little $25 voucher play. Hopefully they got some of those lovely aqua t-shirts to give away and hand out. Guys, I'm not reading too much into it. He answered a question honestly. Okay, Tim Aline and Show Enough and AT. Yeah, we get you. He's also played 26 reps the past month. That's all I'm saying, guys. You want me to feel bad for Robert Quinn? Go find another show for that. When we come back, I got Eagles prop bets for tonight. I also have NFL news and notes. We might even touch on some college football landscape. We're going to take a quick break, pay some bills. We'll be back right after this. We're just getting started. 1 hour of power down, another hour of power to go. Buckle up.
Don't wait